The sea is calm. Too calm. A Roman grain ship moves slowly through the dark water, heavy and overloaded. Below the deck, the wood creaks under a weight it was never meant to carry. By morning, Rome will be hungry, and this ship will already be dead. The ship leaves Alexandria before dawn, its sails catching a weak eastern wind. She is old, wide-bellied, built for cargo, not speed. Her name is painted in fading red letters along the hull, already peeling from years of salt and sun. Below deck, hundreds of tons of grain are packed into woven sacks, stacked so tightly that the air smells of dust and rot. Captain Lucius Varro stands at the stern, counting silently. Every sack matters. Rome is waiting. He knows the numbers by heart. 1 million mouths, fed day by ships like this one. Miss one delivery and rumors spread. Miss two and riots begin. Varro has made this crossing many times, but never with a load this heavy. Orders came directly from imperial agents. No delays. No excuses. The sea is Rome's road, and today Varro is driving straight into its heart. Weeks earlier, the command reached Alexandria. Load more. Not just grain for the markets, but sealed crates marked with imperial stamps. No explanation. Just wax seals and silence. Varro did not ask questions. In Rome, questions were dangerous. He knew only this: the emperor needed materials urgently. The city had faced shortages before, and emperors who failed to feed Rome rarely stayed in power. Grain was power. Bread was loyalty. And ships like Varro's were floating lifelines. Port officials pushed loading past safety limits. With every sack, the waterline sank lower. The ship groaned, timbers flexing like tired bones. Varro protested once. Only once. The answer was simple. Do you want Rome to starve? That ended the discussion. When the ship finally left the harbor, Varro felt it immediately: resistance in the water. Sluggish movement. The ship was already struggling to survive. 3 days out, the weather changes. Not suddenly, but with a quiet certainty sailors learn to fear. The horizon darkens. The wind shifts. Waves grow uneven and heavy. The crew tightens ropes, lowers sails, whispers prayers to gods they barely believe in anymore. Below deck, the grain shifts. Not much, just enough. Varro feels it through his boots. Then the first wave slams into the port side with a deep hollow sound. Another follows. The ship tilts. Inside the hold, sacks tear open. Grain spills like sand sliding to one side. The tilt worsens. Steering becomes slow, then uncertain. Varro shouts orders until his voice cracks. The crew fights hard, but physics does not care about courage. A massive wave crashes over the deck. Water pours inside. The ship does not capsize. It simply gives up, slowly, quietly, as if exhausted. The list becomes permanent. Varro knows the truth before anyone speaks. The ship is lost. He orders the crew to abandon cargo, to cut free what they can. But the crates marked with imperial seals are bolted down. Untouchable. Sacred. Another wave strikes. Men are thrown into the sea. Water floods the hold, mixing with grain, turning it into crushing weight. The mast snaps with a sound like thunder. Within minutes, the ship is no longer floating. It is sinking. Varro jumps last, swallowed by darkness and noise. When he surfaces, the ship is already half gone, its stern pointing toward the sky like a dying animal. Then it disappears, taking Rome's food, and something far more valuable with it. The wreck settles on the seafloor, far from shore and far from witnesses. Time passes. Rome never learns the full truth. Official records blame the weather. They always do. But centuries later, divers uncover the evidence. Amphorae scattered like bones. Crates collapsed inward. And beneath them, heavy metal ingots stamped with the imperial mark. Lead. Tons of it. Material meant for rebuilding. Pipes, baths, palaces. For the emperor himself. This ship was not only feeding Rome. It was rebuilding it. Its loss meant delays, shortages, and quiet panic in the capital. Grain had alternatives. This did not. The sea kept it secret. But Rome felt the absence. In the city, bread distributions tighten. Portions shrink. Lines grow longer. People complain. Officials scramble. New ships are ordered. More risk. More pressure. Somewhere in the palace, an emperor learns his materials are gone. There is no announcement. No mourning. Only anger, redirected downward. A port official is blamed. A captain's name is quietly erased from records. Rome survives, it always does, but only by doubling down. More ports. Bigger harbors. Stronger concrete. The lesson is learned the Roman way. Not emotionally, but structurally. This story is not about a storm. Storms happen. It is about dependence. Rome conquered land with legions, but ruled it with ships. Every loaf of bread in the city floated there first. Every palace, bathhouse, and monument rested on risky voyages and wooden hulls. One ship sinks, and the illusion cracks. Rome's greatest strength, the sea, was also its greatest weakness. The empire did not fall because of one wreck, but it survived only because thousands of others made it home. When you imagine Rome, you think of stone, fire, and steel. But Rome lived on wood, rope, and wind. And somewhere on the Mediterranean floor, one silent ship still tells that story. How close an empire always is to hunger.